Hi, young minds of India. I am Maria Mitchell, born in 1818 on the island of Nantucket, USA, and I am truly honored to join you today, thanks to the warm invitation of your beloved big teacher. Though I lived in a time long before space rockets and AI telescopes, I come to you across time and space to share my journey among the stars. I was not born into wealth or fame. I was born into curiosity. As a child, I would often stand beside my father, who was an amateur astronomer, and gaze at the night sky through a simple telescope. He taught me how to observe the stars, to calculate, to wonder. You see, my father was my first guide, but we were also following in the footsteps of great astronomers before us. Galileo, who dared to point his telescope at the heavens, and Caroline Herschel, a woman like me, who discovered comets in a world dominated by men. And then, one quiet October night in 1847, I spotted something new, a glowing object moving through the stars. A comet, unknown, unrecorded, mine. I had discovered what would be called Miss Mitchell's Comet, and to my amazement, I was awarded a gold medal by the King of Denmark. But I must tell you, dear students, my journey did not end there. Yes, I had made a discovery, but I believed that knowledge should not be locked away. At a time when women were not expected, or even allowed, to study science formally, I became the first female astronomer of America, and later, a professor of astronomy at Vassar College. I mentored young women, encouraged them to question boldly, and reminded them that the stars belong to everyone. I followed no career path paved with riches. Astronomy in my time was a tool for navigation and calendars, used by sailors to cross oceans. But to me, it was something deeper, a way to understand our place in the universe. So instead of monetizing my comet, I shared it freely. Today, you might call that open science. In your time, science has evolved beautifully. You have space agencies, artificial intelligence, private rockets, and even dreams of colonizing Mars. If I had lived in your century, perhaps I could have applied for grants, published in journals, or collaborated with companies like ISRO, NASA, or SpaceX. But here's the question I pose to you, brilliant minds of India. Should science be owned, or should it be shared? Just as I look to Newton and Copernicus, today's scientists look back at pioneers like myself. And just as I inspired young women to take up science, you can inspire generations to come. If I were sitting among you now, here is what I would urge you to do. Join citizen science projects. You don't need a PhD to discover a star. Champion open science, keep knowledge accessible, pursue STEM and imagination together. Because as I once said, Maria Mitchell, Vo. Science is not all logic and math, it is also beauty and poetry. Ask ethical questions. As space becomes privatized, ask yourselves, Maria Mitchell, Vo. Who should own the sky? I defied the limits placed on me, not because I sought fame, but because I loved the stars. I believed that education should be universal, and that gender, wealth, or geography should never determine a person's right to learn. And now I look to you, the next generation, Maria Mitchell, VO. India has a proud legacy of stargazing, from the ancient texts of Aryabhata to the Mars missions of today. What role will you play in the cosmic story? Look up, ask questions, and always reach for the stars. The sky is not the limit, it's only the beginning. Maria Mitchell, VO. With wonder and warmth, Maria Mitchell.